friends, today we are going to discuss about HPV vaccine. What is HPV vaccine? A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity against a particular infectious disease. If a vaccine works against human papillomavirus infection, then it's called human papillomavirus vaccine or simply HPV vaccine. HPV is a DNA-based virus which mainly results in warts. Many HPV infections resolves within 2 years, but in some patients HPV resides in the human body and cause precancerous lesions and some types of cancers. HPV can cause several types of cancers in both men and women. The most common are cervical cancer, oral cavity cancer, penile cancer, vaginal cancer, vulval cancer and anal cancer, out of which cervical cancer is the most common cancer in females apart from breast cancer. What is cervix? Cervix is the entry point or neck of the mother's womb or uterus for baby's delivery. So the cancer arising from cervix is called cervical cancer. Globocon is an international organization which collects cancer-related data all over the world. Cervical cancer is reported as the 4th common cancer in females all over the world, accounting to 6 lakh cases in year 2020. But in countries like India, cervical cancer reported to be the second most common cancer in females, accounting to 1.2 lakh in year 2020. This indicates 20% or 1/5 of the cervical cancer patients in the world are reported from India. The death rate or mortality due to cervical cancer was reported as 11% among all cancer deaths in India. As per the reports from the International Agency for Research on Cancer, that is IARC, on HPV related cancers from India, reported that 480 million or 48 crore females are at risk for development of HPV infection and cervical cancer, out of which cervical cancer and oral cavity cancer tops the list due to HPV infection. Everyone will get the doubt that how a person acquires the HPV infection. Many types of HPV affect the mouth, throat and genital area. They are easy to catch. The major source of spread of HPV infection is any skin-to-skin contact of the genital area. Vaginal or anal or oral sexual activity enhances its spread. It also caused by using contaminated clothes during menstruation. If you see the statistics from Center for Drug Control and Prevention in USA, HPV infection is one of the most common among sexually transmitted infections. Nearly 42 million or 4.2 crore population were already infected with HPV infection, and 1.3 crore or 13 million new cases are reported every year with HPV infection. The association of HPV infection with cervical cancers is very strong. If you see the IARC data, the coexistence of HPV infection with cervical cancer and precancerous lesion is nearly 85%, whereas association with normal cervix is only 5% in the patients. As it is a serious problem in women, HPV vaccination program was initiated in many countries in the world. New England Journal of Medicine, the famous medical journal, published the research related to HPV vaccination and effective prevention of cervical cancers. The study was conducted in Sweden in 16.6 lakh women, and where 5.2 lakh females received HPV vaccine and remaining females were unvaccinated. They divided the study population less than 17 years and above 17 years, as the 17 age is the usual time for first sexual encounter. The incidence or development of the cervical cancer in vaccinated females before 17 years of age was only 2, and females vaccinated between 17 to 30 years had reported to be 17 cases, whereas the females affected with cervical cancer in patient group not received vaccination were 538. The Lancet, another prestigious medical journal, reported that the United Kingdom or England had driven a mass HPV vaccination program in their country and vaccinated most of the girls at age 12 to 13 years. They successfully almost eliminated cervical cancer in women born since September 1st, 1995. The best age to vaccinate your girl child is between 11 to 12 years, and the results are good if you vaccinate before 17 years or before marriage or before their first sexual activity. The standard recommendations are to give 2 doses for ages 9 to 14 years. The first dose is given today and the next dose will be given after 6 to 12 months. Females between age 14 to 27 years, it is recommended to give 3 doses. If the first dose given today, the second dose will be after 2 months and the third dose is given 6 months from the first dose. But the effectiveness of vaccine decreases after 17 years of age. After 27 years of age, usually it should be a shared decision between doctor and patient as the benefit is not strong. After 45 years of age, it is not recommended. There are various types of strains like HPV 16 and 18 which are most commonly associated with cervical cancers, and other strains are associated with oral cavity and anal cancers. There are mainly 3 types of vaccines available in the market like Cervarix, which protects against HPV 16 and 18, Gardasil protects against HPV 16, 18, 6 and 11, Gardasil 9 protects against 9 strains of HPV. Gardasil is usually recommended by majority of the doctors as it covers most important HPV strains. It is given as an intramuscular injection in deltoid or shoulder muscle. It is avoided in pregnant women, patients who are allergic to some medicines or vaccines, and patients who are sick. The safety profile of this vaccine was studied in thousands of patients for all the 3 types of vaccines. Center for Drug Control and Prevention in USA gave a note on its website that HPV vaccine is safe and effective, where they distributed more than 135 million doses till now. A great saying, no God ever came down to earth to wipe out a disease, but science can do. So gift your child a HPV vaccine and save your child from cervical cancer.